welcome to the instructional video for the IDH Digital Salary Matrix. My name is Honor Johnson, and today I will be walking you through the tool so you can get started. The salary matrix is essential for measuring living wage gaps. It will help you be sure you are gathering the right information on wages, bonuses, and in-kind benefits to compare with living wage benchmarks and understand potential living wage gaps. Although you may be completing the salary matrix for a project or a certification, the tool is freely available for anyone to use in their facility, plantation, or factory. If you don't already have access to the tool, you can find it by going to idhtrade.org and using the search bar to search for the salary matrix. Once you're here, the first thing you want to do is make an account. Anyone can make an account by clicking sign up, and of course, selecting the language that you want the tool to be in. Once you click here, sign up, you'll be sent an email receiving instructions to make your account. If you already have an account, but you've lost the password, feel free to click forgot password, and the tool will send you an email to make sure you can have access to your account. Once you're in the tool, you can see the first guidance. This list here will show you which data you should have available before getting started. As you can see, you'll need 4 types of information: facility information, information about job categories, wages, and bonuses, as well as in-kind benefits. To receive accurate results, it is also important that you have working hours recorded, including hours per day and hours per week. Below, you will see a list of any salary matrices that you've already started. If this is your first time using the tool, it will be blank here. You can get started by clicking Start New Salary Matrix right here. Once you open a salary matrix, the first tab you will see will ask you about basic facility information. And on this page, I want to show you 2 really useful resources if you have any questions. This tab will automatically fill in information that you entered when you made an account. So you'll see your name, phone number, and email address right here. And the first thing you might have questions about is the facility ID. If you're completing the salary matrix for a project or a certification, you'll be provided with an ID number. But if you're not and you don't have an ID, then you can just enter 0. For the country and the region, you can select from the list. And when you enter the location, be sure the format is correct and doesn't have a space between the numbers. If you need any more information about what should be entered, you can hover your mouse over the field. For example, here we're hovering over the area of production, and you can see that the production should refer to the production area only, and it should be in hectares. If you still have more questions, you should definitely check out the question mark that you'll see up here, which will open a separate file called our help file. And here you will see all the information, questions and answers organized by a different tab. So for this tab, we'll see there's a few points here, and one of the useful ones is about the facility ID and the GPS location, which must be entered in this format, again, with no spacing in between. So here's a resource. You can always access it again by clicking in the question mark in the top right corner. And finally, here in the description, you can give your salary matrix a name. This is really useful because you will see it on the home page dashboard once you're on the dashboard. When everything is correct, you can click Save and Next, and it will bring you to the Product Information tab. Here for this example, we have a IDH special flavor of bananas, which is of course in the agricultural sector. So I've selected those from the lists. Our units of production are kilograms, and I've entered this number of total annual production in kilograms. If you change the units of production to a different value, it should correlate with the total annual production that you type in here. For certifications and standards, you can click onto the drop-down list and select any that apply to you. The year of the salary matrix, of course, should match the year of the wage information that you're collecting. And the number of production seasons is the next key piece on this page. So number of production seasons refers to the times of the year where levels of production increase or decrease. And the number of seasons that you indicate here is also the number of seasons for which wage information has to be entered. So if you have significantly different wage information for parts of the year, you should indicate that by selecting here the number of production seasons. For this example, the same amount of production happens for one season of the year, which is 10 months long. So what that means is that we have only one season, which I've indicated here starts in January and it lasts for 10 months. If this really means that for the last 2 months of the year, there's no production season, no wage data to be entered. If you have, for example, 2 different production seasons, a high and a low season, where different numbers of employees are at the factory or at the facility, you should put number of production seasons as 2. Then you can indicate the length of both of those seasons and the correct number of workers, correct number of employees, and the correct wages for both of those seasons. So once you have everything correctly entered in here, you can click Save and Next. It will, if you're having less than 12 months of production, then it will just give you a little warning. You can click Yes. And here you'll get to one of the most important tabs about HR information. Here we organize workers in 2 ways. The first is by work area. You can select work areas from this list, and basically they will be added to this row here. For this example, I've started with 2 work areas, a cleaning area, and a field. So if you wanted to add another work area, let's say transportation, you select it from the list and you click Add Work Area. It will add it to the row here, and you'll be able to fill in the number of job categories for that once we get there. So in each work area, we're going to add all the job categories that apply for that. A job category may only consist of workers who do the same task, are paid the same way, and receive the same types of in-kind benefits. And ideally, no more than 10% of all workers can be included in any one job category. And if you have any of those cases, then new job categories can be created. Down here, you can click Add Job Category and you'll get an additional row just like that. And be sure that all temporary and informal workers are included. Also good that they have a unique name, like Cleaning Team 1 and Cleaning Team 2, so that you can tell them apart at the end when you see the results. So once you've defined your job categories, you want to list the number of men and the number of women in each of those job categories. And here you'll see a simple total to make sure, to double check, make sure that you've written the correct numbers. It's important that you enter in the correct men and women so that the results at the end, which show your results disaggregated by gender, are correct. If you've ever entered an extra job category that maybe you don't need, you can, of course, click the little delete button over here and it will be removed. Once you've filled in all the information for one work area, you can move to the next work area by clicking on the tab here. And here, similarly, you will see the job categories that I've already entered. Here we have 2 teams. We have Cutter Team 1 and Cutters Team 2. And the difference with the Cutters Team 2 is actually this team, this job category, receives an in-kind benefit housing. So if it's useful for you, you can just label it here in the name of the job category. I've also entered in the number of men for both teams is 10, and the number of women is 5 for both teams. So in my case, we don't have this job category work area, and if you ever have a work area that you added and you don't need, you can simply click this little delete button and delete it. Once everything is correctly entered in here, you can click Save and Next, and it will bring you to the Wages per Season tab. Here, we're going to enter the wages for each of the job categories for each of the seasons. So because I only have one season, you will only see one season here. If you have multiple seasons, you'll see multiple tabs. Here, the workers will again be organized by work area. You have cleaning area here and field down below. So in this cleaning area, we have our first job category, our Cleaning Team 1, and a row for men and a row for women. If we keep scrolling, we'll see Cleaning Team 2 and one more row for men and one more row for women. Here is a critical point to enter. So the tool is asking for unit here, and this is unit of work, which is the object for which a worker is paid. So for example, some workers are paid by a number of shirts they iron or a number of boxes of bananas that they pack. Then the unit can be shirt or box, or if other workers are paid per hour or day or month, that can be entered there as well. A good reminder to always enter gross values. So in this case, these two groups, the men and the women from cleaning team 1 are all paid by day. So here we're in the unit day. You can see that there's actually a drop-down list, so we can just very quickly click day here. And the next column we're entering is the amount paid per unit. So unit is, of course, referring to day. So this would be basically 12 USD paid per day. This is the same for this job category for both men and women. So we'll keep 12. And this, as you can see, is turned to gray because it's automatically calculated. It's automatically calculated when we use a time-based value like day, month, or week. But I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Very important to have accurate calculations is the average total hours per day and the average total hours per week. So here we have a work week of 44 hours, and on a daily average, people are working 8.8 hours per day. This is the same for all workers, so you can see I've entered in the same hours for everyone. But when we move to our cleaning team 2, they actually have a different payment structure. In this case, in this example, they're paid by month. So here you can see an amount paid per unit, amount paid per month. I've just entered 210 USD. You can see that the tab is this average units completed per day is still gray because it's a time-based unit, and you can see the calculation happening there. So it looks like our cleaning area is complete, so we can click to the field. Where again, these two job categories are also paid in a different way. You can see once you're in this unit dropdown, there's options for day, month, or week, but maybe your workers are paid in a different unit. They can be paid by any unit that you can think of. In this case, they're paid by cart. So in our facility, we measure everything by how many carts of bananas are completed per day. So here I've just typed in the word cart. You can see. And this cutter's team 1 is paid $5 for every cart of bananas that they bring in every day. And the average units, the average number of carts brought in per day is 3. They work the same number of hours per week, same number of hours per day. The next team, cutter's team 2, completes a little bit more. They're paid a little bit more, and they're still paid by cart. So we've left the unit the same, and they still complete about three carts per day. So again, here you can complete the wages for every season, for every job category, and for each work area by clicking on the correct work area and then finding the correct job category. And if you have any questions, again, very useful resource to click on the help file up here. Once everything is correct, you can click Save and Next. This will bring you to the Bonuses tab. Bonuses are very important because we know this substantially helps the workers take home some value at the end of the year, the end of the month. And here you can indicate that value. There's some examples of bonuses that are commonly provided, like a 13th or 14th month bonus, a performance or quality bonus, holiday bonus, or an other bonus. Feel free, if the bonuses meet the specific requirements, you can enter it right here. If you want to know which specifications bonuses must meet to be able to be added, you can read the help file. Here in our example, all of our workers receive a $100 holiday bonus at the end of the year. So that gets added in here. And other bonuses, they differ by job category. So we've added 25, 50, as you can see here. You'll see in the gray column some calculations being made. Here's the total amount of bonuses being provided per year. So this is just adding up any of the bonuses. And here, dividing that bonus amount by the number of months worked. Once we want to move to the next work area, we click Field, and we'll see our job categories again with the $100 bonus and other bonuses that are being paid. This one here, I see we're missing. We have another $100 bonus for both men and women of Cutter's Team 2. Once everything is complete, we can click Save and Next. And you'll likely get a pop-up just double checking that every field where you haven't filled in a value should be 0. So for example, it's saying that you skipped the 13th and 14th month bonus. for a certain job category, and it's going to be 0. Is that okay? So we'll click yes. Once we've completed the bonuses, it will bring us to our page on in-kind benefits. Here you can enter the in-kind benefits that workers receive, and it's good to make sure that the in-kind benefits meet the certain requirements. Here you can see that in-kind benefits have to be accepted by workers as being valuable. They have to reduce the cost of living for a worker and be provided during regular working hours, expected in advance, and not be mandatory by law. So if anything is being provided because it's part of a national mandatory payment, it would not be included here. And if workers contribute by paying for this in-kind benefit, then that amount is subtracted from the cost. So here you can see a list of in-kind benefits. We have food, transportation, housing, healthcare, children's education, childcare. And if you offer any other benefits, you can describe them here in the other benefits category. So in our example, we've selected food. We can click on food, and it does meet these specific requirements to be provided, not sporadically given farm produce, and that the meals are balanced and follow nutritional guidance. Value of snacks and water are not included. So once we open up the food category, we can enter the number of workers who receive food. In this case, it's everyone. So I type in 60, which is the total number of workers at the facility. Now, as a facility, I happen to know the cost per worker per month for providing this in-kind benefit. This is the cost of the system, the cost of the employer for providing this good. So here I happen to know it is $30 per month per worker. But if you don't know, you can always open up our cost calculator and itemize some of the goods that contribute to providing that in-kind benefit. So the only other in-kind benefit that's provided at this facility, as you probably could have guessed from our job category before, is housing. So I have 15 workers who receive family housing. It meets these requirements, and the cost of providing that per worker per month is $100. Once everything is entered in correctly, I'll just click Save and Next. Here, the last tab before we get to create our report is indicating which job categories receive which in-kind benefits. So here at the top, you'll see the number of in-kind benefits that are receiving food and the number of workers that we've entered. Above that, you'll see each of the in-kind benefits that you've selected. So here we only have food and housing, but if you have more in-kind benefits, you'll see them here. So a really helpful button here is that when we have all workers receiving a certain in-kind benefit, we can click Select All. So this will turn every single job category to yes. So if I click Unselect All, because it's already selected yes, it will change them all to say no, as you can see here. And it's referring to specifically the job, the work area. So only 30 are now selected as yes. And I want to change it back because I know all workers receive the same in-kind benefit. If just a few don't receive this in-kind benefit, for example, you can say select all workers will say yes, and then you can adjust it from there. This will help complete all of the in-kind benefits for each of the work areas. So you can see they're all selected as yes. When we move to the housing tab, we'll see the Cutters Team 2 is the only one that's selected yes, and everybody else is selected no in the field and no in the cleaning area. Once we're done, we can click Save and Next. Again, it's going to ask you if you haven't completed a certain section. It's going to be 0. Is that correct? And you can always say yes, just a good double check. Finally, here you will see the Create Report page. From the list on the left, you can select the living wage benchmarks for your country. And on the right, you can select any other potential benchmarks that are available. In this case, we have an agricultural minimum wage available, but on the left, we definitely have benchmarks available. And for this example, for El Salvador, we have an anchor reference value from 2020, which is available for all rural El Salvador. Just to mention that your wages, bonuses, and in-kind benefits will definitely be compared against the living wage benchmark, but it's useful to have some extra benchmarks just for reference when you create your report. Once you know everything has been completed, you can click Create Salary Matrix Report, which will open up your results in a different tab. Here you will see beginning with a very useful visual overview of your results by job category. In this visual, the job categories are listed as bars, and you can see the width of the job category refers to how many workers are there. And the ones that are listed in red are earning below living wage, while the ones listed in green are earning more than living wage. So here we see our extra benchmark, which was the minimum wage of around $210, and that all of our job categories are earning more than minimum wage. But only half of them are earning more than the living wage of $355. The three different colors that you'll see for all the columns are referring to the wages, the bonuses, and the in-kind benefits. So here you can see this large area of in-kind benefits refers to the job categories with housing. And if you need a breakdown of any of these job categories, you can always use the hover over function and you'll see this nice table that's being created. What's also available on this page are 4 different groups of results. Of course, you get a quick summary at the top, starting with the number of employees, number of workers below living wage, the average gap for those who are below living wage. As we can see here, it's 19%. And the average amount of the living wage, which is paid in in-kind benefits, so about 13%. The size of the gaps ranges from 24%, which you could see in this low job category, to 14% for this job category here. When we scroll down, we'll again see a list of the facility summary. This is the same list that you filled out at the beginning of the tab, but it's included here so that when you download your report, you'll have the facility location and information ready. Then you'll see the summary results, similar to the ones we saw at the top, having the country name, the living wage that we're comparing with, currency, workers with only wages below living wage, and then workers with all remuneration below living wage, which is the value that we're usually looking for. So we know that 50% of workers below living wage is a critical point, and the average size of the living wage gap at 19%. We have results here disaggregated by gender, and the 4th table is the detailed results, where it shows for each job category the number of men, number of women, the in-kind benefits, bonuses, and monthly wages, as well as the total, and then indicating the living wage gap. So once this is correct, or if it's not correct, you can always click back and make sure that you can make the edits that you need before generating the report again. But once you're ready, you can generate the report by clicking here and downloading the salary matrix. This will provide you with a PDF version of what you need. When you're done and everything is correct, you can come back to this page, the Create Report page, and click Submit Salary Matrix. Once you submit the salary matrix, it's not possible to edit the data anymore, but you must submit in order to have the results connected with a project or certification. Once you click Submit, you'll be brought back to the home page, and you'll again see the guidance that we talked about before and a list of salary matrices that you've created. You can see that our salary matrix is no longer here because we're only viewing the salary matrices that are in draft. So here I'll just click to view those that are finalized, and we see right here our salary matrix that was finalized for El Salvador. And if you want to view the PDF that you created of the results, you can do that right here. Thank you for watching this instructional video. We hope you're now ready to get started completing your salary matrix and measuring living wage gaps. If you run into problems or questions that you cannot answer by reading the help file, you should reach out to your contact point for the project or certification that you're involved with. If you have a technical error with the tool or other question related to the calculation in the salary matrix, feel free to email us at this email address you see here. Once you completed the tool, you can visit our website for more information on living wage. Thanks.